Elinor.
Thank you.
David is trying to speak through his mute button.
Yeah, can I raise a quick postscript for anybody who's prepared to hang around for a second? And it's that we have been avoiding an issue for a long time, 28 times now, which is I publish these on YouTube and I put them up as unlisted. So anybody who has the link can pass it on to somebody else and they get as many as 30 or 40 views. What I'm not doing is marking them as public so that they can be found in a search. And I've raised it a couple of times and I've been told, well, you should ask the people at the event. Everybody knows it's being recorded, right? You probably don't know that there's 2 ways you can publish it. There's actually 3. It can be private, that nobody else can see it. It can be public, that other people can find it on a search. And it can be unlisted, which means you need to know the link. And last week we had a great talk from Delia Riding, and I asked if she would be happy if her talk was made public. And she said, oh yeah, by all means, I'm happy to be a guinea pig. And so I'm wondering if, I would love to see these talks get a wider airing. People know they're being recorded. Often when talks are recorded, you know it's going to be published and available. But the question is, do we take a decision or I wouldn't change the status of anything at the moment unless it was with the permission of everybody in the group or general assent. I don't even know if it's an easy question or a difficult question. And if it's a difficult question, I would walk away from it for some time. I don't want to push something in everybody's face, but if everybody says, oh, sure, just make it public, let other people see it, great, I'll do that. If not, then I'll push it back perhaps to Patsy and Ray and Christopher that we do discuss it at some point. Any thoughts on that? Is a show of hands, are people happy that these talks be able to be found publicly? And the other show of hands, would anybody feel uncomfortable if they knew that people would be seeing these talks?
David, can I ask, is it just the talk, the presentation, or is it the further questions and discussions?
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
What I do is I trim the general chat off at the beginning until Ray makes an introduction. I tried to coach him to make a formal introduction so it leads in. And similarly, at the end, this won't get published. I cut in just as Ray finished it, and that would get chopped off. So I just trim the events. So it's the start of the talk to the end of the discussion. And that's the point, that your contribution, if you've talked, would also be seen by other people. So this could be easily handled by framing it at the beginning. The talk's going to be recorded, and if you speak and made available, and if you speak, that will be part of it. At the moment, we haven't been doing that, so there's some ambiguity. Or we could simply carry on saying it's going to remain unlisted so that people can pass them on to friends and other friends, or other people in the general public will not find these talks. I just wanted to raise it because we now have an inventory of great talks that we're not making more widely available. And I think it would be nice if we did. I think the effect could be positive, and it's certainly a worthwhile experiment.
Also,
I think you should make
carry on, Michael.
I think you should make it absolutely clear at the beginning. I know you said it was recorded, and I went through that. I think if you're going to publish them, which is put them on the public domain, then we need to be saying that at the beginning to everybody. But I don't think I have any objection.
Thank you.
I think one of the ways, if they do go public, it's also very good outreach for Quakers.
Yeah.
And I'd be happy for any of mine to be public, because the more the better.
Can I admit a total lack of ignorance? When you come to this, you're told this is going to be this is being recorded. You can leave if you want now, And I had assumed that it being recorded meant that it was going to be available.
And you're 3 parts right. Sometimes, so the assumption that you're making is brilliant. That's what I think that most people kind of think, that it's that if it's being recorded, it is going to be made available. And if you go to an ordinary event, there isn't a big spiel about who it's available to and who it isn't. It's published on YouTube, often normally YouTube, because that's the easiest place to put videos. But the person who actually publishes the video has to tick a box that says whether it's private or public or unlisted. And unlisted means we're going to circulate our membership with the link, but other people won't find it. Whereas public means we're going to tick it as available to the public, and something like a Google search or a YouTube search might show this. So somebody who is looking at a video on gender equality might then find this talk listed down the side because it's been linked. And so that's the sort of general education. Christopher, sorry. I want to let you close the meeting soon.
Yes.
I just wanted to raise this.
Yes. Yes, I was hoping it would end a bit sooner than this. We must get other people to be the host. Yes, I think my attitude would be very different if I knew that it was being, going public. So I don't think we should do it with anything that we've done so far, because in fact, I certainly feel freer to say things amongst friends than I would be if it was going public. So anyway.
Okay. That's good too.
I mean, on this topic particularly, it's a very divisive topic, and it is not uncommon for people to be hounded for their views on it. I'm relatively easy to find in my totally unrelated professional capacity online if somebody wanted to do that. So I wouldn't open myself up to that. But as a point of principle, I think if you were to ask at the beginning of a session, if we were planning to have this as a publicly available video, would this alter how you participate on that particular topic? If the answer is yes, then it should be unlisted. And if the answer is no, then it could be public, but you need to be asking that at the beginning.
That's a good one. What I'll do is I'll put this snippet up as an unlisted piece as a contribution to this debate, because I think what you've all said is quite helpful. Thank you. Right,
I'm pulling the plug now. So
bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Elinor, and thank you for indulging me in this little chat.